Welcome, everyone. Today we are diving into a fascinating, read and academic passage task that explores the intersection of biology and aesthetics. We will analyze a university-level text about animal behavior, focusing on how to extract main ideas and understand the logical structure of a scientific argument. Let's get started and sharpen those critical reading skills. If you're finding these breakdowns helpful, make sure to subscribe to myTOEFL for more expert strategies. Let's keep working together to reach your target score. The artistic courtship of the bowerbird. The title Artistic Courtship immediately signals that the passage will focus on how creative or aesthetic behaviors are used in the mating process. This helps students anticipate a discussion that blends biology with concepts usually reserved for human art. The bowerbird, native to the forests of Australia and New Guinea, is renowned among biologists for its unique and complex courtship behavior. This sentence introduces the subject by highlighting its unique and complex behavior, setting the stage for detailed scientific observation. The word renowned is a great academic term meaning widely acclaimed or famous in a specific field. Unlike most birds that focus on physical traits such as bright plumage or elaborate songs, male bowerbirds dedicate months to constructing and decorating ground-based structures known as bowers. Here, the author uses a contrast strategy, noting that unlike most birds who rely on appearance, these males build ground-based structures. This transition is crucial because it defines the specific divergence in this species' evolutionary path. These elaborate constructions are not nests, rather, they serve exclusively as theaters for attracting potential mates. The author clarifies a potential misconception by stating these are not nests, but rather theaters. This distinction is important for understanding the specialized function of the bower as a purely social and reproductive tool. The architectural complexity of these bowers is often cited as one of the most remarkable examples of animal-built environments in the natural world. This sentence provides a superlative evaluation, calling the structures some of the most remarkable examples of animal architecture. The phrase cited as indicates that this is a widely held view among experts in the natural world. To enhance the appeal of their bowers, males spend countless hours gathering specific items such as colorful berries, shells, and even bits of plastic discarded by humans. As we move into the second paragraph, the focus shifts to the specific materials used, including bits of plastic. This detail illustrates how the birds adapt to their environment by incorporating discarded human materials into their displays. Many species exhibit a preference for a single color, meticulously arranging blue or green objects in symmetrical patterns to impress passing females. The phrase meticulously arranging suggests a high level of care and precision in the bird's behavior. We also see the word extravagant used to describe their preference for specific colors, which hints at the intensity of their obsession. A male will often defend his collection from rivals and will spend significant time readjusting his display if a single item is moved. This sentence describes the male's dedication, noting he will defend his collection and readjust items. This behavior demonstrates that the arrangement is not random but a deliberate, maintained composition. This behavior suggests a high level of aesthetic judgment and cognitive planning that goes beyond simple survival instinct. The author concludes this section by suggesting these actions show aesthetic judgment, which is a complex cognitive trait. This moves the discussion from simple observation to an analysis of cognitive planning. Evolutionary biologists interpret this behavior as a form of honest signaling, where the quality of the bower indicates the male's overall fitness and cognitive health. In the final paragraph, the text provides the evolutionary interpret of the behavior. The concept of honest signaling is introduced to explain how the bower acts as a visible proof of the bird's fitness. Building and maintaining such a structure requires substantial energy, memory, and spatial awareness, making it a reliable indicator of genetic quality. The author lists energy, memory, and spatial awareness as the specific requirements for building, which makes the bower a reliable indicator of health. This explains why the bower is a successful evolutionary strategy. Females carefully inspect multiple bowers, observing the symmetry and variety of the collection before selecting a mate based on his creative output. This sentence focuses on the female's role, as she will carefully inspect the creative output of the males. It highlights that the selection process is based on the quality of the display rather than just chance. Ultimately, the bowerbird demonstrates that in some corners of the animal kingdom, Mental capacity and aesthetic display are just as critical as physical strength for reproductive success. The passage ends by emphasizing that mental capacity is just as vital as physical strength for these birds. This final thought ties the entire passage together, reinforcing the theme of intelligence in the animal kingdom. What is the passage mainly about? This is a main idea question, which asks us to identify the central theme of the entire passage. We need to find a choice that captures the description of the behavior and its biological purpose as mentioned in the key phrase mainly about. Now, keeping this in mind, let's evaluate our options. Let's take a closer look at option A. The impact of human litter on the decorative habits of wild animals. While the text mentions bits of plastic, this is just a small detail in paragraph 2 and not the impact on animals in general. This option is too narrow and focuses on a secondary detail, so we should eliminate it. Now let's examine option B. The unique courtship displays and evolutionary significance of bowerbirds. This choice perfectly summarizes the passage, covering both the courtship displays described in the first 2 paragraphs and the evolutionary significance explained in the third. It matches the comprehensive scope of the text. Here's option C. Let's break it down. The nesting habits of various Australian birds. The passage explicitly states that bowers are not nests, which directly contradicts the word nesting in this option. Furthermore, it focuses only on the bowerbird, not various birds, making this an inaccurate choice. Finally, let's look at option D. The physical differences between male and female bowerbirds. Although male and female roles are mentioned, the physical differences between them are not the main focus. The text actually says they focus on structures, unlike birds that focus on physical traits. We should eliminate this. The correct answer to this question is option B, since it encompasses both the behavioral description and the scientific explanation provided throughout the passage. The word in paragraph 2 is closest in meaning to. This is a vocabulary question focusing on the word extravagant. We need to look at how it describes the bird's preference in the context of their meticulous and intense color gathering habits. Now, keeping this in mind, let's evaluate our options. Let's take a closer look at option A. Common. The word common implies something ordinary, but the text describes the bird's behavior as unique and remarkable. Therefore, this does not fit the intense nature of an extravagant preference. Now, let's examine option B. Excessive. The word excessive captures the sense of going beyond normal limits, which matches the bird's extravagant habit of spending countless hours on a single color preference. This is a strong fit. Here's option C. Let's break it down. Frequent. While the behavior is frequent in the sense that they do it often, extravagant describes the quality or degree of the preference, not just the repetition. Excessive is a more precise synonym for extravagant here. Finally, let's look at option D. Hidden. Hidden. The word hidden means concealed, but the bower is described as a theater meant for attracting potential mates. This is the opposite of being hidden, so we eliminate this option. Therefore, the correct answer is option B because excessive correctly reflects the intense and highly focused nature of the bird's decorative preferences. According to paragraph 1, what is the primary function of a bower? This question asks for the primary function of the bower according to paragraph 1. We need to find the specific purpose mentioned in the text that distinguishes it from other structures. Now, keeping this in mind, let's evaluate our options. Let's take a closer look at option A. To serve as a storage area for winter food supplies. The passage does not mention winter food supplies anywhere. It focuses entirely on courtship, so this option is unsupported by the text. In Kala. Now let's examine option B. To protect the male bird from predators during the night. Although birds need protection, the text specifically states the bower serves exclusively for attracting mates, not for protection from predators. This is a distractor based on general bird knowledge, not the passage. Here's option C. Let's break it down. To provide a safe place for the female to lay eggs. The text explicitly says bowers are not nests. Since nests are where birds lay eggs, this option is factually incorrect based on the passage's definitions. Finally, let's look at option D. To act as a stage for attracting a potential mate. This option perfectly matches the text, which describes bowers as theaters used for attracting potential mates. This is the primary function identified in the first paragraph. The correct answer to this question is option D, since it directly reflects the passage's description of the bower's exclusive purpose. Paragraph 2 mentions all of the following as behaviors of the male bowerbird except. This is an except question, meaning 3 choices are true and 1 is false. We need to verify which behavior is not mentioned in paragraph 2 by looking for the except clue. Now, keeping this in mind, let's evaluate our options. Let's take a closer look at option A, using both natural and man-made objects for decoration. Paragraph 2 mentions berries, natural, and bits of plastic, man-made. Since this is in the text, it is not our answer for an except question. Now, let's examine option B, arranging colorful items in symmetrical patterns. The text explicitly describes birds arranging objects in symmetrical patterns. Because this is stated in the passage, we must eliminate it. Here's option C. Let's break it down. Defending their decorative collections from other males. Paragraph 2 states that a male will defend his collection from rivals. This matches the option, so it is a true statement from the text and thus not the correct answer. Finally, let's look at option D. Building large nests for the protection of their offspring. And think full breeding. The passage repeatedly states that bowers are not nests and are not for offspring. Therefore, this behavior is not mentioned as something they do, making it the correct answer for this except question. Therefore, the correct answer is option D, because the text specifically denies that bowers are used as nests for raising offspring. What is the relationship between paragraph 2 and paragraph 3? This question asks us to identify the relationship between the second and third paragraphs. We should look at how the information flows from one to the other, from description to analysis. Now, keeping this in mind, let's evaluate our options. Let's take a closer look at option A. Paragraph 2 provides a specific description, while paragraph 3 offers an evolutionary explanation. This is accurate because paragraph 2 gives a specific description of the building behavior, while paragraph 3 provides the evolutionary explanation of why this behavior is beneficial for mating. Now let's examine option B. Paragraph 2 describes a problem, and paragraph 3 provides a solution based on physical strength. Paragraph 2 does not describe a problem, it describes a routine behavior. Furthermore, paragraph 3 emphasizes mental capacity rather than physical strength as the key to success. Endocom. Here's option C, let's break it down. Paragraph 3 provides data that proves the behavior in paragraph 2 is accidental. Paragraph 3 argues the behavior is a reliable indicator of health, which is the opposite of saying it is accidental. This choice misinterprets the scientific conclusion of the passage. Finally, let's look at option D. Paragraph 3 compares the bowerbird's colors to those of other species mentioned in paragraph 2. While colors are mentioned in paragraph 2, paragraph 3 does not focus on comparing them to other species. Instead, it focuses on the internal qualities of the bowerbird itself. The correct answer to this question is option A, since it correctly identifies the transition from descriptive details to evolutionary theory. Great work today. When tackling academic reading passages, always focus on the transition between descriptive paragraphs and analytical ones. Remember to look for keywords like unlike or rather to understand the author's distinctions. Keep practicing these logical connections, and you'll see your score improve steadily.